Hey guys, it's Ben. Coming to you now on Tuesday. It is officially the day before my birthday. Not happy about that. I'm gonna be turning 30. Not looking forward to that. I pissed away my 20s pretty well, so part of me wishes I could get that time back, but part of me knows that, it's like everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. So, here we are. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Outlaw Nights is still coming out on September 24th on Indiegogo. I'm going to have the link for the email page in the description below. And, so again, been thinking about a lot about my, I guess my little critiques on my favorite media, and I think the one that I was thinking about before I made this video, the one I was really just kind of, it was such a missed opportunity in so many ways, in my opinion. It was the Girl Meets World. Girl Meets World, where to begin? Okay. I brought this up in the other video, and I gave y'all the challenge of watch the pilot of Boy Meets World and the pilot of Girl Meets World back to back. No comparison in terms of intelligence, in terms of skill in writing, in terms of effort put into writing. Girl Meets World, the premise, I loved the premise. It was a great idea, in my opinion, which is part of why it aggravates the hell out of me that the show ended up the way it was. But this was years back when they first announced they were doing this. And, my ears perked up. I got excited. Then I saw that they were going to put it on the Disney Channel. And I immediately became filled with fear. Everybody's been paying attention to Disney's shenanigans over the past 2 years. Most people weren't paying attention before that, where a lot of this woke, lazy, one-dimensional writing did not start in it didn't start in 2017 or 2016. It started way before that. I would argue that shit started around the time they came out with that awful show about the twins that a bunch of kids loved. God, what was that? The Sweet Life of the Two Little Idiots. Yeah, that was like their first foray, in my opinion, into lazy writing. Although, I mean, I think, yeah, there was probably a lot of lazy writing when I was a kid too, but it was, there was more wiggle room for creativity back then. Nowadays, no. Nowadays, every single Disney Channel show, if you turn on the Disney Channel, yes, I have turned on the Disney Channel in the past few months, mostly just out of morbid curiosity to see, what's going on. And each show is a clone of the other show, if that makes any sense. There are no unique shows. Oh, okay, I take that back. Andy Mack, that's their one unique show. The rest of the shows are not unique in the slightest. They're all interchangeable. You listen to an episode of one show, you go off to do something, you come back, and you hear a show going on. You think it's the same show, and then you turn on, and you're like, oh no, it's a different show. Slightly different. But that's the point. Disney has gotten to the point where it's like it's insulting, in my opinion, to the average viewer, even Like, they're like, oh, well, you're not the target audience, obviously. The target audience is kids. It's like, well, you think kids are stupid? Like, kids aren't idiots. I'm sorry. Like, I know that the whole thing is like, yeah, they're learning about everything on planet Earth for the first time. But usually if you sit a kid down and you put something good in front of them, and then you show them something on the Disney Channel, guess what they're going to prefer? And why do you think that they keep banking on nostalgia over and over again? That was the thing. Girl Meets World was commercially a success for a good while. But if you read any of the reviews on it, you got the shills thrown in here and there. But for the most part, the reviews are not what I would call spectacular. I just remembered how the average episode of Girl Meets World would always deal with the most melodramatic, small, insignificant stuff that really didn't help teach kids about growing up or any of that. Like, I remembered very specifically, there was one episode where Corey and Topanga's daughter, Riley, they learn that she learns that Pluto is no longer considered a planet, and she has like this big emotional thing over it. Like, it's like she was so attached to the concept of that planet, and that it just broke her heart. And it wasn't even done in a context where it'd be like, oh, that's funny, like, ah ha ha, like, it wasn't done with a laugh track. It was done like, you're supposed to take this seriously, because her feelings were hurt because of a change in categorization of the planets. Don't get me started on their supposed, every show loves to do the whole, like, well, we're going on vacation, we're going on whatever. The episode, they had a 3-parter where they went to Texas. And it was like Texas in like 1890. And if you look at the sets of Texas, you'll see that there's a lot of very stereotypical painted backgrounds of just like a desert-looking climate, or like something with like a tumbleweed going across. And the fact that they produced this, and they're serious, Disney has got some freaking ego. I swear, like, they think that they are untouchable. They think they can do what Tommy Boy said. They think that they can put a crap in a box, mark it guaranteed, and hand it to you, and that you're just gonna love it because it's got the mouse ears on it. But I mean, that show had so much potential, and so much of it was wasted because they got a bunch of the original actors from Boy Meets World to do guest spots, and those episodes were the highest rated. But as you would expect, they took everything we loved about the characters and they simplified it, they dumbed it all down, and they did the old rehash, especially with Eric. That was the worst. Eric was the funniest character on the original Boy Meets World, and they basically, for his reappearance, not only did they keep him in the silly, wacky side of him from the college years that I wasn't super fond of, but they decided to repeat jokes. They decided to do the old, like, hey, you remember that time he made this joke that everybody laughed at? Let's have him just redo the joke the exact same way, with less emphasis, less ability on the delivery, all of that. It's just there to make you go, oh, hey, I remember that. You remember that? I remember that. It's all getting so freaking stupid. And I just, the more I see stories about Disney having their feet held to the fire, the happier I am. Because they need an ego check like nothing I've ever seen. Oh, and of course, Girl Meets World, instead of being like Boy Meets World and following her journey as she grows up, instead of the show taking on a more serious context as she gets older, in order to make the show fit the tone of Boy Meets World, just like with Girl Meets World, the girl meets the world. The girl didn't meet the world. The girl didn't have time to meet the world because she only had 3 seasons because Disney cuts it off at 4. You know? I think they tried to do really quick. They tried to shoehorn in her going into high school, but even then there were no differences between high school and middle school. Really, there was like maybe one difference. Oh, and Mr. Turner was there. Yay. So, Disney, you need a serious cleanup, big time. I don't know what policies you guys have that are making this crap get past, any kind of vetting. Get it together, okay? Right now, Nickelodeon is just getting on the nostalgia bandwagon, and they're already kicking your butts by leaps and bounds. So anyway, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for another mini rant in the car. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and remember once again that Outlaw Nights is coming to Indiegogo on September 24th. It is a 49-page graphic novel, hopefully to be the first in a 6-issue miniseries that will hopefully extend beyond that, but it all depends on how you guys love the first issue. Thank you so much, guys. I will talk to you later.